So I was looking for a postdoctoral position in Europe, and Marie Curie fellowship are very well-known and prestigious fellowships. And I chose University of Essex and working with Professor Graham Underwood because it's a very stimulating place to do research at university, and Professor Graham Underwood is a well-known reference in this topic.
So this research is really important to do now. It's timely because coastal systems are under increasing pressure as populations increase. Mudflats are what I sometimes call the engine house of coastal systems. If you look at a mudflat under a microscope, there's an absolute forest, like a rainforest of diversity there at the microscopic scale. And although it's small, the volumes and the activity mean that this scales up, that a mudflat can be as productive as a cornfield.
The nanoparticles have very interesting physical, chemical and biological properties, so they are added to more and more consumer products now. The problem is after they use, they go to the water and they arrive in our river and then they arrive to our coast, and we have no idea what they are doing here. So what we are trying to do is like bridge between the natural environment and the laboratory-based studies. So we have what we call mesocosms, it's just tanks with natural mud, and we have tidal tanks, so where we reproduce the natural rhythm of tides. And what we are doing is we are dosing nanoparticles into these tanks every day by little concentration, so that the nanoparticles accumulate in the mud. We have done one experiment in winter and one in spring and one in summer to try to see the difference between seasons. From our early results, what we can see is the microorganisms don't die, they're still here. The nanoparticles are in fact preventing microorganisms to produce oxygen or to recycle nutrients, and that's where it gets interesting. So next steps are to continue analyzing our samples and to see if this effect we could see in winter will reproduce in summer, for instance. We hope that in the long term this result will help decision making regarding the regulation of the release of nanoparticles in the water and to guide environmental policies on nanoparticles.
The natural capital of the world is incredibly important, and it's very easy to take it for granted and not actually protect it because it's always been there. We always feel the natural world is always there, but actually slowly, slice by slice, you can cut away at the natural world until it stops functioning in a way that's good for society. So this sort of work helps us with that broader approach to coastal management and to ecosystem management, and that's really helpful for protecting our ecosystem services for future generations.